So it feels pretty obvious by now that the modern lifestyle that we're living in is not good for us. But because it feels so normal to feel busy, to feel sick, to feel tired, to feel anxious, we have stopped questioning how we even got here. And we have just accepted this as normal. So if you are anything like the state that I used to be in not long ago, you are tired, you are groggy, you feel defeated, and you feel overstimulated. Maybe you even feel angry at the world that we live in, and you feel like you need to make a change, but you don't know where to start. You don't even know what a change looks like. You don't even know if you can change. You feel like maybe the world is just constantly coming in on you. I want to share with you in this video 8 things that I consciously unsubscribed from in modern society that immediately improved my quality of life and improved my mental health. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Heather, and here we talk all things burning the societal script, the one that we were handed from childhood and never even questioned. The schooling, the job, the climbing the corporate ladder, getting into debt, buying the house, normalizing anxiety, not even questioning a thing, and then maybe retiring. Have you ever stopped to question like how crazy this actually sounds? It's wild to me that we actually just accept this, but it is not your fault. So if you've always known that you crave something different in your life, then this channel is for you. And if you are like me and you love to travel, or travel has been calling your name, but maybe you don't know where to start, I created a free resource just for you. You will absolutely love it. You can get it for free in the description. It is called Fck The Script, Write Your Own, and I think you will love it. Or if you'd love to just join my community, you can do so by signing up for my newsletter called the Unscripted Club. And again, you can find that in the description. Okay, let's dive right in. So the first one that I'm going to mention makes a lot of sense. And the last one, I think you're really going to want to stick around for, because it is crazy to me how this is such a normal thing. But once I stopped doing this, my life completely turned around, like night and day. So be sure to stick around for that last one. The first thing that I unsubscribed from was subscriptions. Think about the amount of subscriptions that we are paying for on a monthly basis that we likely don't even use. You want to know the other thing that I noticed is when I am subscribed to things on a monthly basis and I consciously know that I'm paying for it, I feel like I have to use it even if I don't want to. So for example, I stopped subscribing to Netflix a while ago. Every now and then I'll join it again, like when I'm traveling or whatever, but I don't use Netflix a lot. However, when I have joined it on the off time, I find myself needing to watch Netflix all the time because I know I'm paying for it. So I'm like, well, I'm going to use it. So every night I'll like watch a show or I'll watch a movie, when in reality, I don't need to watch TV. I really don't enjoy watching TV. I don't get a lot out of it. But when I'm subscribed to it, I feel myself needing to use that subscription. But when I unsubscribe from all of these things, 1, I'm saving money, and 2, I get so much of my time and energy is freed up because I don't feel sucked into all these subscriptions that I feel like I need to use. So this goes for all of these platforms that people are paying for: Paramount, Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, Prime. It's crazy how many different platforms are out there. And if you are someone who is paying for every single one of them, it is likely that you feel like you need to use every single one of them. Pick one. One is enough. So go into your subscriptions, see how much crap you are paying for, and start unsubscribing. You will feel so free, so light. It is a very freeing feeling. The second thing that I unsubscribed from was the need to rush. And I really feel like this is something that I learned when I was living in Latin America. Not everywhere. I will say there was a lot of traffic there and there was a lot of, horns honking and a lot of chaos. But overall, the Latin culture, it's literally just like, we'll get there when we get there. I also noticed this in Italy. When you sit down at a restaurant, it's like, we'll get to you when we want to get to you. Like, wow, Italy really opened my eyes to like, there is no rush here. And it was really freeing. I'm not gonna lie, part of me had some anxiety because I really had to just realize like, wow, they're really just operating on their own time, and I love that. But in Latin America, it's really just like, we'll get to you when we get to you. We operate on our own time here. Same with island time. I love island time. Island time is very much like, yeah, we might say we're open, but we just don't feel like going today, so we're not actually going to be open. And like, I know that's what we said our hours are, but those are very rough hours. Like, we don't always operate by that. And something about that just feels so liberating. Whereas coming back to Western culture, we're always in a rush. Like, there's always traffic everywhere and everyone always just seems in a rush to get somewhere. We gotta beat a clock. We've gotta always be somewhere. It's like the grocery store is not going anywhere. Like, you'll be okay, you know? So I just feel so much freer when I'm not always rushing to get everywhere. I constantly have to consciously remind myself, like, it's okay to just chill a little bit, you know? So the third thing that I unsubscribed from was giving my energy away. I am so conscious as to where my energy goes now. And a big part of this is drama, gossip, doom scrolling. All of that is your energy that you are putting into things that there is not a good ROI on it, if you know what I mean. You are allowing these things to siphon the energy from you, and you are not getting anything in return other than likely feeling dull, drained, exhausted. You might feel some kind of way that doesn't feel good to you. These are all energy vampires in a way. I noticed when I stopped partaking in work drama, gossip about anyone. I'm just not interested. I'm not interested in celebrity gossip. I'm not interested in the influencer gossip and what goes on out there. I'm not interested in doom scrolling, because I started to really consciously recognize how these things were just sucking the energy out of me. And I noticed that it's like trendy to lay in bed and doom scroll. It's trendy to keep up with this gossip. And why do you think that is? Don't you think it's kind of convenient how these things that are trendy are things that are siphoning the energy out of us? So once you lock in on this, you will start to consciously pull your energy back again. The fifth thing that I unsubscribed from was caring how I am perceived. How other people think of you is literally none of your business. And when I started to recognize that the way that people perceive me is a direct reflection and mirror on how they perceive themselves, I started to realize how much it just doesn't matter anymore. And trust me, this is coming from a recovering people pleaser, cared way too much about what other people thought of me. I put on this facade. I really just like covered myself in order to be accepted and chosen by other people. I cared so much about what other people thought about me. And this really stems from an early age. It was really interesting when I started to recognize this coming up in adulthood, and then I would be able to kind of tie it back to something that would happen to me when I was younger. And I realized a lot of this stems from this need to be chosen or caring too much about how I was perceived. And I recognized how much that was really holding me back from really stepping into my authentic self and stepping into my purpose and stepping into what I felt called to and to what I really wanted to do. I really wanted to get onto YouTube and create videos and put my message out there and help other people. But I cared so much about what other people would think of that it held me back for years. When I stopped caring so much about how I would be perceived, it was incredible how quick I was able to launch into doing what truly, truly gave me joy. The sixth thing that I unsubscribed from, and I love this one, is I stopped putting anyone on pedestals. Anyone. And I made a video about this recently about stepping into your power and recognizing your worthiness. You should go back and watch that video as well. But I just realized no one is above anyone. We might perceive that and we might think that, but that is not the truth. We are all equal human beings. We are all one. We are all energy. We all came from the same source. And when you recognize this facade, this fake idea of putting people up on pedestals, you are giving them so much power and you are putting yourself on a lower pedestal than them. And this is all just made up in our minds. And when I started to really recognize this and understand what this was doing energetically, and I started pulling these people down off of the pedestals that I had them on, I started to really step into my own power and I started to really pull my energy back. So I feel like in modern day society, we see like influencers and celebrities and all of these different people as like higher than us or more important. And we like look up to them in a way. But then when I really started to question, like, what is it about these people that we're looking up to? Because if I'm being quite honest, nothing about their life looks appealing to me personally. That's my own personal opinion. And I just realized, like, why do we even look up to these people? What is it about them that's so special? Why is it that they're more special than we are if we are all equal human beings? And not only that, but I started doing this just in my own life, with bosses as well. You know, I, for so long, allowed management, bosses in the workplace to basically be the person who I looked up to for my worthiness. Like, if they did not appreciate, like, I really needed them to recognize me or to appreciate me in order for me to feel worthy. And then once that was something that I really worked on, and I recognized I get to be worthy without their recognition, with or without their recognition, it truly changed my life. So I took all of these people down from the pedestals, and I realized we're all on equal playing ground here. And this genuinely changed my entire perception of reality. The 7th thing that I unsubscribed from is sleep deprivation. I truly do not understand how being exhausted is a flex. Like, I only got 3 hours of sleep last night, or I got home at 4 a.m. and I was up at 7 a.m. for work. Like, to me, that just sounds horrible. I think that we're in such a masculine hustle and grind culture, and I do think that is kind of being phased out, but it still very much exists in our culture. And the hustle culture is something that is just so celebrated. And it's like, get up at 4 or 5 a.m. If you're not up, early bird gets the worm. And if you're not up before everyone else, then you're going to lose out, and da 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 da. Like, I don't subscribe to all of that stuff personally. I like my rest. I like my sleep. I know that I'm a much better person when I'm rested. I show up better. I show up better in my business. I show up better for people in my life when I am rested. I just don't subscribe to this whole exhausted mentality. I don't think that it's a flex. I don't think that we are our best version of ourselves when we are operating on 4 hours of sleep. To some, maybe, to each their own, but I just don't subscribe to this hustle grind exhaustion culture anymore. And I don't try and force myself to get out of bed at 5 a.m. when it doesn't feel natural for me. That's me personally. The 8th thing that I unsubscribed from that I told you about earlier is alcohol and processed foods. This is something, if you look around, why is it that this is something that is pushed on us so heavily everywhere you look? And you want to know the crazy thing about it is when you tell people that you don't drink, or you tell people you don't eat fast food, have you noticed what the reactions from people are when you tell them that? Everyone is like so blown away, like, wow, good for you, or oh my God, you don't eat fast food. That to me goes to show how brainwashed we are and how conditioned we are to think that it is just so normal to poison our bodies with alcohol and processed food. Both of those things are quite literally pure poison. And don't get me wrong, I'll have the odd drink when I go out for dinner with friends or hang out with some friends. I'll have the odd drink, but do I subscribe to the get blackout and go out drinking all the time? Absolutely not. I choose personally to not eat processed food. I don't eat fast food. I know what that does to my body, and I know the kind of energy that is in processed food. And when I put that directly in my body, I feel what that is doing to me. I know that it is dulling me down. It exhausts me. It makes me feel like garbage. It's just crazy to me that this is something that is so normalized. So I consciously chose to stop doing that, even as something that is so normalized and pushed on us. Every other commercial is about drinking and all this stuff. And have you noticed how alcohol companies are trying to keep up with the trends? Have you noticed that we get to set the trend? We do not have to subscribe to what they tell us to do. Have you noticed how many alcohol companies now have to create non-alcoholic drinks just to keep up with the demand? Because we decided no more. We don't want to drink. We don't want alcohol. We don't like that lifestyle. We don't like to feel that way. We don't want to put alcohol poison in our bodies. And they have had to adjust to keep up with the demand. That goes to show directly that we get to set the expectation. We get to set the demand. We said no more and they had to keep up with us. So those are only 8 of the many other things that I've chosen to consciously unsubscribe from. But that said, I would love to hear from you. Are there things that you have chosen to do that you have chosen to unsubscribe from that have been so normalized in modern society that have changed your life? I would love to hear your stories and what you have done. Leave a comment below if you feel called to do so. And I'm debating making a follow-up video on things that I've replaced these things with now that I have so much more energy and time in my life, now that I have replaced these things. So let me know if you'd be interested in that video. So that is it for now. I will leave the video here. Don't forget that you can grab that freebie in the description, sign up for my newsletter if you feel called to. And with all that said, I will see you in the next video.